Hey everybody, this is Tony, your host for the Reiki Challenge. I hope everyone's challenge is going great so far. It's only been a week, so I'm not sure how long that is. I was just sitting here at work. I just got done doing a bunch of Reiki sessions and stuff here, and I thought, well, geez, what a great place to do the video for this challenge. And so if you're wondering why I'm wearing scrubs, and it's all white, because that would be why, because I'm at the office. Okie dokie. What do I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. So, of course, last week, you did Joshin Kokyoho, which is, the breathing in the hara and expanding, which I'll talk more about that in a minute. And we did Kenyokyo, which is the, pattern interrupt technique, which, you can use in other places. You don't have to use this as part of meditation. It's a great way to sort of do the first thing in the morning, maybe right before you go to bed. I like to use it whenever I'm going from one kind of thing to a completely different kind of thing. If I'm like getting stressed or something, I might go do that and then come back, or like driving, in traffic or something. I might do it before I get out of the car to go into a meeting or something. It's that kind of stuff. So it's really good. And that's really all I had. You'll be doing Michael's Sword, one time, sometime this week, whatever day you did. So if you pick to do it on Thursdays, you do it on Thursdays again at the same time, whatever. If you didn't do Michael's Sword, you might want to watch the video last week to find out more about it, or watch the Michael's Sword video. You can download that too. I didn't put any restrictions on it. So if you want to download the video and listen to it at home, you can do that. Or you can listen to it off YouTube, whatever. It's all fine. And there's also a PDF in the file section which you can read that goes into a lot more detail about like what the technique does and how it works and that kind of stuff. So I wrote that many years ago, and it was actually part of Jeffrey Martin's book, second volume guide, the complete volume Reiki volume 2, complete guide to Reiki volume 2. There we go. I wrote about 3 chapters in that book. So anyway. Yeah. Okay, great. So what we're going to do this week is we're just going to do we're just going to really pretty much do what we did last week, except we're going to add one little practice to the 2 that you already have. And when that happens, those groups of things become another technique that has a name by itself. And that name is hatsurei-ho. So, and what hatsurei-ho means is, well, ho means technique, and hatsu means to generate or to create or to, birth, or there's lots of different words for it, but you got the idea. So this is a technique that's designed to generate spirit, which is one interpretation of Rei. It's also about an attitude as well. So this is a way of generating energy, okay? So, and it's actually a couple different pieces. So the first piece, of course, is just like last week. So when you're doing hatsurei-ho specifically, you start off with doing mokunin, which we talked about last week, which is basically focusing your mind. So you would close your eyes and say, I'm going to perform hatsurei-ho, or I'm going to perform Joshin Kokyoho, or whatever you want to call it. Or I'm going to perform my practice now. You can get, you can be a bit more generic if you want to. I like to be specific because I find that it makes it better. It's like a macro, So if I say, I'm going to do hatsurei-ho now, then whenever I say, I want to do hatsurei-ho now, my body goes, bing, and it knows what's going to happen next, and then it creates a whole bunch of things that are conducive to the kind of practice that we're doing. So you would start off that way. And then you would then, do your Kenyokyo like before, do that, and that would basically be translating that. And then you would go into taking a second to connect with your hara. This is a little step I've added. It's not necessarily part of hatsurei-ho, but I think it's important to really take that minute in the beginning to breathe into your belly with your hands and actually feel your hands expand and contract, just to make sure you're really connecting deep with the hara. And then you would go into Joshin Kokyoho, which is the breathe in, expand, breathe in, expand, breathe in, expand, etc. Keep in mind, it's not, it really is about connecting with your heart. It's every breath should be breathing in and feeling that energy come all the way down to the hara. And pay attention to those feelings. Don't focus on the feelings, because this is not let's see what kind of cool sensations we can make technique. It's about bringing your mind, your awareness, to your hara over and over and over again. Your mind's going to go, blah, dinner, hockey practice, blah, 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 blah. And you're going, no, hara. And eventually your body goes, oh, wait a second. maybe that soccer list isn't important, or maybe the grocery list can wait. I think we'll go back to the hara. And eventually, the more you're back in the hara, the more centered you are, the more grounded you are, the less worried you are, the more peace you are. You'll have no anger. You'll be more compassionate. You got the idea? I mean, like, all the things in Reiki are about getting to that space. Well, you know how you get there? Grounded, centered. The more grounded you are, the more energy that you can embody. The more energy you can embody, the more space you have for oneness, which is sort of ironic because oneness is everywhere. But that's a different conversation for a totally different video. The reality is that until you get rid of the junk, you won't have room for more stuff. So, and good stuff. And so this is about becoming more mindful. And in the process of doing that, those unmindful things will pop up, and then you'll be like, no, I'm doing this. And then that gets less and less energy, and then eventually it doesn't have any energy, and then it just falls away or dissolves or melts or blows up, or all sorts of different ways that conditioning things can leave your body. So anyway, breathe in, but pay attention to those breaths. I mean, is your breath continuous? Do you feel it in different spots? Is it a smooth transition from in your nose down through into your hara and then out? When you're doing that expansion, is everything expand? Or maybe you only expand part of it here, or part of it there. These are all just things to pay a mindfulness to, because what's going to happen is you're looking to be more and more mindful, more and more aware of your body every time you do this breath. And if something distracts you, just come right back and do it. And so what you're going to do in this hatsurei-ho version of the techniques, you're going to do Joshin Kokyo for 5, 10 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever it is that you've decided is a good amount of time for you. Keep in mind, more is better. More is better. To a point. I mean, doing 19 hours of Joshin Kokyo probably is a bit excessive, but, doing enough is fine. So, and then once you've gotten a really good sense of that connection and that hara, and another little refinement you can have, this is something I personally do, is I use the meditation mudra, which is basically right hand, top of left hand, palms up, thumbs touching. So you're like this, okay? So officially it's this way. Sometimes I do it this way. It just depends on how I feel. I'm weird. But anyway, and I'm not going to have it here because this is just for the camera, but this is sitting on my lap. And when you do this, it's conveniently right over where your hara is. So what you're doing is you're creating this sort of triangle that is holding your hara, which is the entire world, really. So you're kind of holding the universe in your hands, and it's a very powerful way. And this particular mudra, it aids in concentration, it aids in focus, it balances your left and right hemispheres of your brain, and it brings your masculine and feminine energies together. So the mudra itself is a powerful healing tool, or Reiki notwithstanding. So that's kind of why I do it. Anyway, that's just me. So right and left, thumbs together, sitting on your lap, pretty easy. Anyway, so you do that for 5 or 10. You're going to do your Joshin Kokyo for 5 or 10 minutes. And then you're going to go on and do the next part, which is, I'm not even going to try to say it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You can look it up. It Setsun Toitsu, I think, is actually how you say it. I'm not even going to try to spell it. It doesn't really matter. But it means concentration. So what you're going to do is you're going to come into Gasho after you do that. And this is just, Gasho is really simple. Palms together, right about your heart chakra. Now there's some, you can get all kind of, in the beginning, don't worry about the refinements. A lot of people just rest their elbows on their sides, and if you're very plump, then you have a nice little shelf there. But if you're not, then maybe it's not as easy. But ideally, it should be roughly 90 degrees, and you really shouldn't be touching your body at all with this Gasho. But in my experience, comfort trumps the proper way. Now, in some traditions, posture is everything, but I'm sorry to say, if I'm uncomfortable, being a little uncomfortable is great. Being a lot uncomfortable is not. Having shoulder issues because I'm doing a meditation, not cool, things like that. So I think it's important to be comfortable within the bounds of what you're doing. But anyway, Gasho. And then what you're going to do is, it's really simple. You're going to have your eyes closed. And if you were just as an exercise, don't do this. It's not part of the exercise. But if I were to breathe out really forcefully with my mouth, where would my breath go? It'd go right to the tips of my middle fingers there, right? And that's, if you have your hands in the right spot, that's what will happen. So, and that's basically what you're going to do, is you're going to concentrate your mind right there on that point, and you're just going to hold that in your mind and focus your attention on that one spot. And then you're just going to breathe in through that spot, in through your hands, into your arms, into your shoulders, down into your body, and into, guess what? Yes, you're right. The hara. And then you're going to breathe out of the hara, back out your arms, and back into your hands, and then out that spot, and so forth. And all you're going to do is breathe in and out through this single pointed spot right there. And you can do that for 5 or 10 minutes. So you want to kind of, if you're going to do this exercise, practice for 20 minutes, then maybe do 10 and 10. Or maybe do 20 and 10 or whatever it is, or 20 and 5 or whatever. Both of these exercises are doing something slightly different. The first one is grounding you and building up your hara. This is connecting your mind, your attention, your hands to your hara. So this is actually a very powerful technique in and of itself. And, it can be done by itself as well. You can do this technique by having your hands like this on a person doing hands-on. Breathing into your hara, out from your hara, out through your hands into the person or thing you're doing. So, you can, use that as a way of doing that. I usually do a lot of that stuff because I don't need to. But as I said, it's a technique that can legitimately be done. But in this case, that. So to recap, hatsurei-ho, mokunin, I'm doing hatsurei-ho, kenyoko, the dry bathing. Then you do joshin-koku-ho, which is the breathing into the hara and expanding, right, which we talked about last week. And then you add zetsun toitsu, which is, I guess I did say it, which hopefully I said it right. I don't know. I'm sure someone on the comments will tell me if I didn't. But anyway, and that's just focusing right here on the little tips of your middle fingers, breathing in through the middle fingers, into your hara, through your arms, out through the hara, out through your arms, into that space, and just focusing on that. And then when you're done, you're done. And then you basically say, well, I'm done now. And then you end with kenyoko again. Okay, so that's really it as far as new stuff. So, and I will upload hatsurei-ho as a technique, the words to in the center when I post on the challenge, so you can find that. I may put it below. This is obviously the second video or fourth video or whatever in the series here of the Reiki challenge. So if you're not, if you haven't watched the other ones and you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Well, so you can scroll back and watch this. You'll also be doing Michael's Sword again one day, whatever day of the week you decide to pick it. That's up there as well. There's also text in the file section. Please feel free to read that. It's actually a chapter I actually wrote for The Complete Guide to Reiki Volume 2 by Jeffrey Martin. And I've also got, some other stuff in that book too, if you ever want to read that as well. But yeah, that's basically all we're going to do today. So if you have any questions, comment below in the Reiki forum that we have. You can also send me an email, etc., etc. Call me if you got my number. If you don't, well, it's out there. I'm sure you can find it if you really want to get in touch with me. I'm pretty good. Email's the best. But anyway, or comments, I do get those on my phone. And, well, that's it. So I'm going to end this again with a reiju for those of you who are brave enough to watch this whole video of me blabbering on. Hopefully I found it helpful. So what I need you to do is close your eyes, find yourself in a comfortable spot, eliminate any distractions you might have. Bring your mind on the idea of being open to receive that which you need. Right. Now I want you to bring your mind and your attention to your hara and just breathe in and out through your hara. Just like you were doing Joshin-koku-ho, except for, no need to worry about expanding or any of that. Just breathing in and out from your center. And accept and be open to what you need. Thank you, everybody. And I'll see you in the forums or anywhere else. As always, like, comment, share, questions, whatever. Anyway, have a blessed day.